Hello again. Right, today I'm going to show you how to paint a background ready for embroidery. I'm doing a ribbon embroidery, only small. This is this will be my design. Doesn't look like much now, but once I've finished it, it'll look really good. So what you do, first thing you do, is you have to frame up your fabric like so, and you can see I've put pins all around it. That's the first thing. I ironed it first as well, press it so it's nice and flat, and I also put a backing on it, just like dressmaker's backing really, what you use stiffening, what you use for dressmaking. I always put that on the back, especially for ribbon embroidery, because it's quite a thick embroidery, so you want it to be, you need something that's going to hold. So then you press it, and then and then press the backing onto it, and then put that onto the frame. It's just a slate frame, look. Just a wooden frame that you can buy. You can buy these cheap enough from hobby stores. Right, so then what I did, I don't think you can see it, but I've actually wet the background, just plain water, because what I want to do is use watercolours on it to get a background that I can embroider on in colour, and I want it to be nice and soft. So because I want it to be nice and soft in colour and blended, I use plain water to do it. So the brushes I use for this, what I'm going to use for this, is these two here, and you can see they're both quite flat brushes, and the reason why I use these for this particular thing is because with them being flat, it'll layer the paint on in nice even strokes. So I'm going to do the top bit first, which is brown, like the brown fence. Then the foreground is going to be green. So here's which one shall I use? I shall use that one. I'm going to use this one. So dip it in your water, and then you dip it in your paint. I showed you the paint box, you can see, look, I've already mixed up my paints. So you mix up your paints, and then you just do that, and get a bit of paint on it, and then nice even. Now I'm going to go down because that's the way a fence would go, so just do it lightly, don't have to be heavy-handed with it. See, and I'm doing it very lightly. The first one's a bit heavy, so don't need as much paint on that one. So just a little touch of paint, don't need a lot, and then it goes on really nice because it's been rub it in, blend it in like that. That one's a bit heavy, but it's alright, we'll make it do. So that's that. And that will be the fence background, hopefully. So you just do it like that, so it looks like a bit of a fence. It's only the background, really, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but try and keep your strokes, because fence panels go down, try and keep them even. That's it. Then the next one, so clean your brush. I just use a bit of tissue like that. You don't need a lot of water on it, you just need a little touch. Now the foreground, I'm going to use a couple of colours because I think that green, just flat green, is going to look a bit too flat. So I've just got like a sappy green, and I'm doing that like sappy green like that. That's part of it, like that. And at the moment it's looking a bit flat, but once the things go in it, so I'm just dragging some of the green up the top, because that's where the flowers will go. And then I'm going to put a little bit, not much, just a little bit, a touch of stronger green on the foreground area, because I think that does need a little bit of depth. So just a different colour, just to see, just do it like blobby, not anything, doesn't have to be spectacular. And I'm just taking the green up a little bit so that it softens that back area up a little bit, because if you think about a fence, it would do that, wouldn't it? Now then, the other thing I've got, the other colour I've got, is a brown colour. Not brown, it's like an ochre, sort of a yellowy browny colour. And the reason for this is because I'm going to put a little bit, just little touches into the green, because just like that. It's all about playing. It's just about playing. That's all I'm doing. And then take a tissue, rub, and that blends the colours together. So there's no harsh colours. That there is a bit too harsh really. But what you can do, you can try and take a bit out. Just put a bit of water on your tissue and then just lift. And see, that's coming out now. Just take a bit of tissue, lift it. And it's coming out. It is looking a bit softer, so that's fine. See, it looks softer now. So that's actually upside down, but that's okay, you get the general gist. That's how it should look, that's how the background will look. So now you have to wait for it to dry. But because, I forgot my purples. So we need a bit of purple on it because I'm going to put ribbon embroidery on it. So just take a sharp brush like this one here. Take a brush like that, just a touch. And where I made little pencil marks, but I can't see them now. Oh yeah, I can just. What you do, you just put a couple, just do a couple of little, like that. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit of colour really, so that you can see roughly where you're going to go with your embroidery. So that goes like that. I'm actually doing a class for the girls at the Embroiderers Guild, and this is going to be part of it, so hopefully it'll go alright, otherwise I'm going to look a bit daft, aren't I? But that's just to give you an idea really of where you're going to go with your stitches. And when you put your stitches on there, it'll look really nice because it'll look like a bit of a shadow in the background. Right, and I'm also got some pink down here. So what I'm going to do is put a bit of pink on for the foreground flowers, because that's like the background flowers. And then here, there's going to be a few pinky flowers. So just put a bit of pink. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a few. See, like that. Not sure what I'm going to do up there yet, but we'll have a think about that. You can always add later if you want to. So that's the flowers. And also I think I might put a bit of green in, dark green, because I want to be able to put some green. So just like that. I'm just going to do like that, I think. Doesn't look like much now, but will do once it's finished. Just put a few little green bits in it. Because green, you always have green bits on flowers, you never have just group flowers, do you? So what we can do as well is put just a few, just do that like that. That one goes down there. I do like to fiddle and paint, I'm afraid. So the background now has gone a bit flat, so I think what I'll do, just put a bit of darker brown in it, just to make it look a bit more like, like that. And what I will do is I'll stitch that, stitch over it, and then it'll look like it's the fence, hopefully. That's it. You never do solid lines either when you're doing painting like this, because solid lines don't really do, they don't look good. Better to have it not solid, because solid lines actually, they don't look right. So try and avoid too solid. That's it. Now don't forget, with watercolours it always dries lighter. So although this does might look a bit bold now, once it's dry, and I'm going to go now and dry it with a hairdryer. Okay, so that's how I'm going to do the background. That's how it looks. That's the background for my ribbon embroidery. I hope you've enjoyed it.